who am I or anybody else to tell you who went and fought, risked your life, you can't use this. It's a plan. How you doing? Jerry here at the Greenhouse of Walled Lake with friend, customer, patient, Adam. He's a regular here at the Greenhouse, and I started talking to him one day and found out that he's actually a veteran from the Army, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your service, brother.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for the support.
Hey, anytime. What years were you in the service?
So I joined the Army in 2003.
Right.
So, it was a couple of years removed from 9/11. At that time, it was, hey, look, I wanted to serve the country, do the right thing. So I ended up signing up, and literally 18 days later, I was off the basic training and I was out the door. So, yeah.
Where were you stationed at mainly?
So after I went to basic and AIT, which is my job training, did a couple specialty schools down in Fort Benning, Georgia, and then ultimately got assigned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, where I was part of the 82nd Airborne Division down there.
So were you jumping out of planes or
constantly?
parachuting?
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, I've had about 47 jumps under my belt.
Really? Awesome. Skydiving's fun.
Yeah,
I did it once, and I can never do it again because it ripped my groin muscle.
Sure.
So I can't do it. But I'll tell you one thing. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, but jumping out of an airplane was probably one of the most exhilarating. And it's not the free fall, it's the jump. Like just when you're going, I'm really gonna do this?
It wasn't the jump that scared me, it was the landing. Because you're hitting that ground and you're at that time, our chutes, you're falling at around 15 miles per hour. So, you typically, you fall, you get hurt. And I mean, it happens all the time. Right. 47 jumps under my belt, really enjoy doing that. And my back, my knees say different now, but it is what it is. So,
how many tours did you do when you were in the service?
So when I was in the service, I deployed 2 times, both times to Iraq.
Okay, and how long were you there?
The first time about 6 months, the second time around 14 months.
A lot of people see it on TV, and unless you've experienced it, I'm sure you can't even you can't get people to relate unless you've been in combat, because that has got to be one of the craziest situations anyone could ever be in, because you're shooting, you're getting shot at, you're in a strange environment, all these people around you want to kill you, and you got to be tripping. And it's not a video game. You don't get a second life.
Yeah,
So stress has got to be out of control.
It's extremely out of control. And you talk about, some of the stuff that you do while you're in Iraq and the stress that it brings onto you and the action and stuff that you see. That does happen. There's a lot of downtime too, and sometimes that's just as stressful. Right. Because, you're going so much all the time, and then stuff just stops for a while. Right. You're not getting shot at, you're not, but you're always at high alert all the time. Right. And then next thing you know, bam, you're engaged again, right? And it's I got hurt my last deployment. I got medically evacuated. We hit an IED. We blew through what they call the kill zone, where you're most vulnerable at. They threw what they call a Russian parachute grenade, which, from my understanding, it's just a grenade where all the projectiles go one direction. So they throw it, they kind of time the Humvee underneath it, and boom. So get medically evacuated, and it's extremely stressful when that kind of stuff happens.
And that's what I don't think people can understand or relate to. When you guys come home, it's got to be a trip to your mind. Like it's, I don't know if that's the form of PTSD. Is that a form of PTSD?
Yeah, I would say so. Or I think PTSD is different for everybody. Right. Really, I mean, right. I think like the symptoms, post-traumatic stress disorder. Right. So there's different symptoms, I would imagine, in different ways people react to them. Right. And what I find interesting about PTSD is you don't even know you have it until you have it. So like you come back and all you know is a stress, anxiety, whatever the heck it is that you're going through over there. You come back, it's like, the best way I explain it to people is, you ever go down the highway and you're going at 130 miles an hour, whatever, however fast you're going, right? 100 miles, 80, 90, right. You're going fast. Right. You take that exit, and now the speed limit is 35 miles an hour. It's extremely difficult to go. It feels
like you're going 5.
Yeah, and it's like, why are we going so slow?
Right.
That's how I look at combat. You come back from combat and you don't realize you're a whole different person. Everybody else, it's the world doesn't stop because you're not there. So you think it does. Right. You think everybody is just waiting for you. You come back and it's like, oh, this guy's doing this now. This this girl that you knew is off at school, and your family's changed, and health issues, all these different things, and you're like, this wasn't like this a year ago or however long ago. And then you have to deal with your own internal issues that you don't even realize you have. Like I remember when I came back, then I started like finding myself doing like out of character things. Like I was drinking by myself, which I'm not even a big drinker as it is. And so I was drinking by myself in my room when I was snapping at people when I wouldn't snap at people over, trivial things. Or one thing that really struck me odd was I got my first apartment when I got out of the Army, and I never had my own apartment before, right? And so I get my own apartment, small little place right in Wilmington, kind of along the coast there, and I had a hard time showering with the shower curtain closed because I couldn't see the front door. Really? I couldn't see anything.
I mean, that's serious. It really is, because who knows what that would lead to. So how did you come to cannabis, and has cannabis really helped you with this?
You have no idea. So I moved up to Michigan in 2015, right? Prior to that, I was in North Carolina, and you don't know, like we mentioned, you don't know you have PTSD. Right. You're just starting to. You're just living. What a lot of people will do, they don't. You talk about don't understand it. They'll just medicate you. Right. So, and that's what I was doing. I was on, Zoloft and Ambien for sleep, and stuff for my anxiety, and it was just a whole slew of a cocktail.
Yeah.
And so.
But it's easy. They write it down here. Take this. Go.
And I'm not a problem anymore.
Right. And somebody's putting a lot of money in their pocket. And hey, the world's great, which is bullshit.
And I felt so much like a zombie. And I'm not saying that there's not good attributes to. Over the counter.
Right, there's uses. I mean, listen, there's plenty of uses.
Yeah, I still use it. I still use depression medication.
But that's why, when I first got into cannabis, 15 years ago, I didn't truly understand the medical value of this. Yeah. But now that I've been doing it for so long, and I meet parents, and I meet seniors, and I meet people like you, I mean, it's undeniable that this has a positive effect. But anything can be abused, of course. That's why people go, oh, cannabis is bad, it's for stoners. Until you know, and you talk to guys like this, you don't know.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it was education, right? So in North Carolina, and I think, you hit the nail on the head there, where I think a lot of people have like a negative stigma around cannabis. I think it's like my duty and your duty and everybody else's duty that understands the benefit of marijuana to educate people, to take that stigma away. There's a lot of people in the service that get out that I think could use cannabis to their benefit. There's different severity levels, I would imagine, under PTSD.
So it's helped you with the PTSD.
Yeah.
It helps you with any pain from your ailments.
So so I have 2 slip discs and 2 bulge discs in my back. We talked about jumping. The problem with jumping the service is they put this parachute on you, and you're sitting down for hours on end with all that weight compressed on your shoulders. And then same thing when you're deployed. At least when I was in, we didn't have what we call them flak jackets, which basically bulletproof vests, where they tighten them on the sides here to take the weight off your shoulders. When I was in, we didn't have all that. So you put it on, you just tighten it up, and all that weight would be on your shoulders. So what ends up happening is your spine compresses. So I got all kinds of jacked up stuff in my lower back there. My central nervous system's been damaged. My frontal lobes has been damaged. My knees, got problems with my knees, and like when my back hurts really bad, I could take medication, but what I found that helps me the most, and I shit you not, is I'll smoke a joint, but I'll take a couple of
Wana gummies?
I'll take a couple of the Wanas, and I'll be good. Or if there's any kind of like THC CBD cream, and I'll even rub that on my lower back, and it does wonders for me.
What would you say to somebody that has never tried cannabis, and maybe they have ailments, maybe they don't, but have never tried it? What would you tell them to a first-time user?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, it allowed me to slow down. We talked about the adrenaline, we talked about the PTSD. I also have traumatic brain injury, and I also have acute stress disorder. All those symptoms that I deal with on a daily basis, freaking out about stupid stuff and overanalyzing stuff, and getting mad about the stupidest crap. Like it's literally changed that for me, and the way my mentality and way I think about the way I just conduct myself day to day it's just changed. It literally has. It's almost like 180 degrees. I'll tell you, Jerry, if I came here 6 years ago or 8 years ago, you'd have probably asked me to leave, because this guy, he just looks like he's, I was just
trying to get into something.
I was looking for it, and I was just amped up all the time, and I hated the world, and I don't think I ever felt like anybody owed me anything, but I just hated being here. I just hated not doing what I was doing, right?
Right.
And that's, I just feel like a normal person for once. As weird as that sounds, it's kind of how I sum it up. And
if it works, man, who can argue with you? It's your body, it's you. If this works for you, who am I or anybody else to tell you who went and fought, risked your life, you can't use this. It's a plan. I'm going to keep screaming how ludicrous it is until we can change the rules, and I hope before I die, we see it federally legalized,
which
I
hope
think we will.
so.
I think in the next 5-6 years, I think, but unfortunately they're going to legalize it for the wrong reasons. They'll legalize it for money.
Oh yeah,
but,
well I don't care why they
right,
legalize.
I don't care either, but that's what they'll, but
Right.
the benefit that'll come out of it will be, to me, extraordinary.
Sure,
And just talking to you right now, I want to make people understand that, we donate a lot of cannabis to people. And if there's ever a veteran out there that can't afford cannabis or whatever, reach out to me at the greenhouse. We'll get it for you.
Sure.
If I can help some people, that's what I'm all about.
Right.
And if I can't get what you need, I'll find it. I'll find a vendor or one of our partners, because most of the people in this industry are good people. And hopefully this, I think people will watch this, and you might not know it, but I'm telling you right now, this video we're making will help somebody.
And that's, what was funny, my wife was asking me, she's like, Adam, what's making you do the video? And she was just trying to get me to think. And I mentioned earlier, I felt like it's my responsibility to do the video, because if I could help another veteran, then why wouldn't I want to do that? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of
and you might help 10.
Yeah.
And those 10 might help another 10. And it's that, the Kevin Bacon thing, it's like
7 degrees
of separation.
Yeah, sure.
And honestly, we're here to help, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks so much for doing what you guys do.
Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it.